Am I the asshole for telling my parents I won't go home for Christmas unless I get a gift?
Am I the asshole for calling my wife ridiculous for saying that she won't attend my family's Christmas over some stockings? Am I the asshole for telling my parents I wouldn't attend their Christmas celebration until they send my husband a separate invitation?
Hey guys, it's Carla.
And Cesar.
Welcome back to another episode of Carla and Cesar's Modern Life.
Episode 41.
41.
Hey. 41, and it's the Christmas episode.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody watching.
I guess Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, yeah. This is dropping on Christmas Eve. Shout out to everybody that's watching this today. And
live.
Yeah, live, yeah. Premiering live. We even have an audience that's watching us.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Funkos. Thank you for being here. It means
they're
a lot
always
to
watching,
us.
but today they're actually mic'd up so they can clap along.
Mm-hmm. They've been our motivation this whole time and our support.
Silent supporters. Always
along with everybody else who watches, comments, and does the things to participate. We appreciate you guys. But we appreciate the Funkos today.
And yeah, I mean, how are you feeling today? We're recording this, the day before Christmas Eve, but this can come out Christmas Eve. Are you excited for Christmas? Yeah.
I'm already celebrating. I took a shot before we started recording.
Nice.
So I'm feeling good. Starting the celebration early. I'm looking forward to Christmas. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to spending time with family. How about you?
Same. Yeah, just want to take the day off and have fun.
Mm-hmm. Good for you. Are you planning on doing any work?
Not on Christmas Eve. Probably Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve, no.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice.
It's gonna be good.
Good for you.
Yeah, and then another thing that I'm looking forward to for next week after this, so there's a lot of special things happening at the end of the year for the podcast that we've been doing, me and you. So the Rodriguez show, for the last episode of the year, we have two very special guests. Cronica, who just DJ'd at the last Tropicasa, the one that Mondo was at as well. We invited her to be a DJ on the show and interview about, being a DJ. And actually, she's from Santa Ana and then New York now, so she's bi-coastal. And it was a dope set. And so that's one guest. And then we also have the return of DJ ADM, who it's his first time on the show since August of 2018. And he's the original DJ of the Rodriguez show. So it was cool. It was cool to have him back. And you were there. It was a fun set too, right? I mean, the interview was great too. Yeah,
both interviews and both sets were really good.
Yeah, and so the thing is about the next week's episode is Mondo still did a set, so it's going to be like 3 sets by 3 different DJs, and and then our usual show, so it's going to be great.
So it'll be almost like the second week in a row with really good
music.
Just music, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what I like.
Not that it isn't always, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, Mondo always does a great job. But I think it's cool to do more DJ driven things too, to switch it up. We've done a lot of in the past. I like to do a lot of special episodes. Well, this is what we're doing right now. We're having podcast episodes, but sometimes it's better just to let the people do the music, and then that way people can enjoy it for the holidays.
Yeah, let it be the highlight. Like
all the mixes that we put out next week, it's all great music to if you're celebrating New Year's and stuff like that. So it's perfect.
Totally. Yeah. Perfect timing.
Yeah. And so before we get to our Christmas stuff, what's been going on with your week?
My week has gone well. I took a personal day this week because I just needed it. Because on one of the days we just had a lot going on one of my days off, and it didn't feel like a day off. So I needed a day to catch up and be ready to return to work so that I could, give more from a full cup rather than a half full cup. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it right, but you know what I mean.
I know what you're trying to say.
And so yeah, it was a good week, chill. But today I could tell that there was it was tense. I think because a lot of people are leaving things till the last minute. And so today, I don't think it really affected me much, but I'm anticipating it being worse tomorrow. But I'm basically mentally getting myself prepared for that today.
Got it.
And then I haven't done very much other than that. Actually, no, this weekend we did, obviously I spent Christmas with your family.
Yeah.
that was great. And then we got to spend some time with friends for a little Christmas party get together.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun too. But yeah, besides that, just mellow.
Yeah, it's been a good week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my week has just been busy, just trying to get everything, that I want to do. Like I get all these projects that I want to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And even now, I have ideas that I want to do for New Year's that I want to get done before then.
Mm-hmm.
And then tonight I'm leaving to record another vlog for the show that has to be released by the end of the year because it's going to be like end of the year themed. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just a lot of stuff that I'm doing, but it's fun to do it. Like it's fun to be able to have the time to, even if it means staying up all night to
Mm-hmm.
make these projects happen.
Mm-hmm.
So just living what I'm trying to do, and it's fun to do that. But I'm also very excited to take some time off on this tomorrow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. I'm glad that you have all these ideas and you like execute them and like follow through with everything. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, it's not always easy because it's you're tired all the time. Like me, I'm tired all the time. I'm saying, but it's worth it in the end to see all the things done.
Totally. So since this is our Christmas episode, we figured we'd share some of our Christmas memories. And I also didn't really have like a specific memory that I could really like pinpoint, but what this made me think of immediately was like my sister shared it was a post on Instagram to like the group chat, and it was basically throwback like super classic Spanish Christmas songs and their videos. And okay, number one, it made me realize that I don't know why I never watched music videos when I was a kid, like of all these songs that are like so good.
Well, it wasn't like you could just pull them up and like watch them.
That's true. Yeah, because I didn't start watching music videos until like MTV, like TRL after school. So yeah, the videos are great. And then it just like how when you think of a memory that or like something is like a memory is uncovered by something else. It was like that.
What happened to you?
Yeah. And it was like, not one specific moment, but I just remember like the feeling of like being at home and like there was family and like family friends, and you can like smell the tamales and you're like excited for them. And then like, like there will be presents and like, I don't know why, but I specifically remember playing Nintendo around Christmas time. And I was probably like that kid that was like not even plugged in because I was.
You always thought that game was a multiplayer game, but it never has been.
Because I remember being really bad, and like I was the youngest of the three at the time.
Yeah.
I have 4 siblings, but at the time it was only the 3 of us, and so I was the baby, and my 2 older sisters were obviously better at it than I was.
Yeah.
And so that was probably me.
Not plugged in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have a similar memory as me and my cousins that we would always play like the games, the newest games, because they would have, for some reason, my cousins would get them before Christmas, but it's like fine because that means we could play them instead of having to wait to open them.
Yeah.
Even one year when Rock Band like came out, they had already gotten it for Christmas, so we just played it on Christmas.
Nice.
And so the first time we played Rock Band on Christmas, that was like changed my life, obviously, because that came out in 2009 or 2008. It came out in 2008. So that means this whole time I've been playing that game.
Wow.
14 years instead of learning how to play a real instrument. But still, it's fun. So that's always fun. And then we would do a gift exchange, and it would always be a joke. Like my dad would always do, he'd play pranks on people. So like one time it was like a giant box that had a lot of smaller boxes in it.
Oh yeah.
It was on my cousin, and it just kept getting smaller and smaller. And then there was a box at the bottom that had balloons that came out.
Oh my god!
And then the balloons was just a picture of himself attached on a small like locket thing. And then so it didn't end up being the gift. It was just all, and it had to do the thing. It was a play on so and so, like boxes cost this much, balloons cost this much. A picture of your uncle, priceless.
That's so funny.
Yeah, or they'd be like they would do that. It wasn't even just my dad. It'd be like people would go up to each other and then like, I got you, and then just kidding, they like fake them out like
like why?
Like yeah, like
That's really funny.
I'm gonna do
Just
that.
because everybody's like anxious to like open their gifts. That's really funny. You should do that this year.
Fake somebody out.
Yeah.
I don't know if this ever happened. I think I remember like that there was like a whole like my dad didn't even get one person, but he gave them a fake gift, and then it was like, I didn't really get you. Here's the actual person I got.
That's hilarious.
That was fun. But yeah, so Christmas has always been really fun to hang out with my family.
Yeah.
I mean, lately it's been more like Thanksgiving where we get together, because Christmas, it's more, for me, the Christmas day is more about going to the movies or something.
Same.
But Christmas Eve, because that's when we celebrate it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I'm excited to make some new memories this year, and I hope everybody out there that is watching this right now gets to make some new memories tonight as well with their family or whoever you got, your chosen family or your actual given family, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Hope you guys have a great time.
And so, because it's a Christmas episode, and we do our scenarios every week, I found some Christmas themed scenarios. So we're gonna do those right now. The audience is excited about that one.
We know you're ready. We got you.
So do you want to go first?
Am I the asshole for telling my parents I won't go home for Christmas unless I get a gift? I'm a 19-year-old male. My sister Bree is 17. She's a brat. My parents spoil her rotten, and if she doesn't immediately get her way, she'll throw a tantrum, and my parents will always give her whatever she asks for. I wouldn't say she got in the way of me or our brother, who's 23, getting anything, but it was always really obvious who got more. My parents emailed me asking if I would be okay with doing a low-stress Christmas this year, as in nobody would get gifts for anybody else. We would just spend time together. It was fine with me since I don't want anything anyway, and it would make things less stressful, like they said. I called to let them know, and they immediately told me what to get Bree. I was confused and said I thought we weren't doing gifts this year. My mom said, "Yeah, but Bree is different. You know how she'll get if she doesn't get something. Besides, she's still a baby. This made me mad, not because I wanted gifts, but because it felt like Bree was getting to be the favorite again. I hung up and looked on the family Amazon account, and they have already gotten her a brand new tablet, a bunch of accessories for it, a name brand giant makeup case, and loads of smaller things. I called them back and told them that I won't come home for Christmas unless I get a gift. It doesn't even have to be a fraction of what they spent on Bree. It could be literally the smallest thing. I just want one gift. They told me I'm being childish, and they thought they raised me better. I told them that was the deal and hung up. I told my housemates that I might be staying here over the break, and when I explained why, they said I'm being immature and that my parents don't owe me anything because I'm an adult now. I told them the gift isn't the point. It's that Bree is obviously being treated differently from me, but they said it's because she still lives with them and is still a kid, and that I should grow up and stop being entitled. I think I'm justified, but now I wonder, am I the asshole?
Oh, damn. So, what do you think?
I would say he's not the asshole.
Yeah, because it's like, if you're going to make the rule, we're not going to give each other gifts, then don't give each other gifts. But don't say nobody gets gifts but Bree. Like,
Yeah.
That's not cool. I mean, yeah, and it's not, it's hard to make the argument but without sounding spoiled himself, but it's like, there's one person that's being spoiled, and it's obvious it's Bree, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, why? And then the parents are just like, oh, you know how she is. Like, they just give up. And it's like, well, it's not like my problem to have to deal with the fact that you gave up on trying to change the ways of your brat, Like, why do I have to participate in this?
True. Yeah. And I would just be like, well, I don't know, like, you've already spent so much on her, like, might as well just like get her another gift and say it's for me at that point. Yeah. If you don't want to give me a gift.
Yeah, it's true.
Because they literally said it was low stress, and then they immediately
changed it around.
Yeah, contradicted themselves. So yeah. They could have just how they think they shouldn't need to give you a gift, they also didn't need to contradict themselves like that. Like set it up to be one thing and then be like, just kidding, you actually do have to get a gift.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think your roommates maybe were saying that you're an asshole because they want the house to themselves.
No.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Not the asshole.
No.
Am I the asshole for calling my wife ridiculous for saying that she won't attend my family's Christmas over some stockings? My mom has a tradition for every Christmas, and that is to get custom stockings of her grandchildren's names. Cody, Mia, Sammy, Elena, etc. And hang those stockings near the fireplace. My wife and I have been together for 3 years, and she has a son, my stepkid, from her former marriage. She found out about the tradition my mom had. She expected my son to get his own custom stocking that can be hung along with the other kids' stockings. I asked my mom, and she said that she loves her step-grandchild, but does not feel comfortable yet to have a stocking of his name and hang it in her home. Apparently, my wife refused to drop it and chose it as a hill to die on, and even told me she would not be attending the Christmas party if my mom doesn't do it. We started arguing about it for days. I finally blew up and told her it's not reasonable for me or for her to dictate how my mom decorates her home and what stockings she hangs. She started crying and called me blind for not seeing how my family's treating my stepson. I said they love him and some stocking isn't going to prove anything. She said she wouldn't go, and I called her ridiculous for deciding not to go over something so trivial. We've been in conflict about it since, and then now she's even refusing to speak to me. So am I the asshole for saying it was ridiculous for her to decide not to go over some stockings? And some clarification, the stepson is 9 years old.
No, so he's like old enough to be aware, like, oh, my name is definitely not up there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only reason why maybe you should just have a stocking, because he is old enough to like realize.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like from the perspective of a 9-year-old, like you probably would have your feelings hurt. Like I'd be sad. I know, like, I don't know.
I mean, and that's the thing is like they've been together for 3 years. Like if it was 1 year, I would maybe like I'd get it because they're not, and if they're not married or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's his wife. They're married and they've been together for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like it's your grandchild now, lady. Get used to it.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe this is the first time they've been over for Christmas. So yes, like she has every right to decorate however she wants, but at the same time, like, why do you want to be that person? Because that's what this kid is going to remember you by how you made them feel, you know?
Yeah, and I think that, and it's true. Like it's like it's not that she's decorating something weird. It's that she's choosing to exclude the grandchild, and that's where it's like that's fucked up. Like it's gonna have effects on the kid, and it's just showing how like she doesn't really care as much about that kid. Yeah,
and it would just be simple to just do it. So if a person doesn't understand it from that perspective, then I don't know what they're thinking. I would say you are the asshole.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
Yeah.
You should have taken your wife's side. Like you should care about that child like he's your kid and think about it like he is your kid.
Yeah.
But you should think about it like you shouldn't even have that line about like, well, he's my stepkid. It's not the same. It's like, no, he's your kid now. Like he is your stepchild, but you need to treat him like, you know, you're a father and a son.
Yeah.
You know, like that's it. Am I the asshole for telling my parents I wouldn't attend their Christmas celebration until they send my husband a separate invitation? I'll preface this by saying that my husband Luke is 32 years old and he does not get along with my parents. You can't tell who's right or who's wrong. There's always this ongoing tension between them, and they can't be civil enough to sit together at one table. I recently got an invitation for a Christmas celebration from my parents. The invitation included me and Luke, but Luke thought this was somewhat rude and disrespectful because he believed he should get his own invitation and not have his name mentioned as an extension to me. We talked about it and he said he wouldn't go unless they sent him a proper invitation. I called my mom and asked if she could do it. She thought it was ridiculous and she said that Dad did the same thing with my sister and her husband. I told her it was fine, but Luke can be sensitive like that, and so a simple invitation in the form of a text directly to him will fix it. She got defensive and said that Luke is being ridiculous. Dad claimed that Luke is trying to pull some power move to humiliate them, but I thought this was a small issue. They still thought it was so ridiculous, so I told them I wouldn't attend if they don't send him a separate invitation because he won't attend if he doesn't get it. This blew up, and my sister started arguing, saying Luke needs to get over himself and shame me for trying to force our parents to send him an invitation by saying I won't come if they don't. We haven't talked after that, and we are waiting as of now. The invitation I received was in text. Luke is saying that a simple text to him will finish the conflict, but my parents still think it's ridiculous and they won't invite him since they already have.
Oh my God. No wonder they don't get along. Like, if this is their dynamic.
Well, I mean, Luke is being a little bitch.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. First, well, in this situation, he is the one that's being a bitch, but a little bitch. But I wonder if sometimes it's the other way around too, because they're so quick to be like, well, he needs to get over it.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, but it's like, yeah.
But I think that that's because they already don't tolerate each other.
Mm.
So that's why neither one of them is going to give in. So it's not funny, but it is, because it's like, I just can picture it, I guess. But
That's so
it's
funny.
just silly.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like you are together, you're a husband and wife. Obviously, anything that people say, bring your wife, bring your husband, or like you guys together, like it's addressed to both of you guys. It doesn't matter who receives it. Like if somebody texts Carla and says, hey, Carla and Cesar come through this, and she's the only one that got the text, I'm not going to be like, what the heck? What about me?
Yeah.
That's
if I don't forget.
And it's also like they usually, and they mentioned the names in there too. They said you and Luke. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, they just said, oh, come through.
And like they did the same thing with the other sibling.
Yeah. And then it'd be one thing if I would understand maybe a little bit more if they didn't even say his name. They just said, come through to her and like, we're inviting you. And they didn't say his name, but it was in the text.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you can't be a better man, Luke, and just be like, you know what? Like, maybe I was dissed, but I'll move forward. Like, no. Very prideful.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious. So what was the question? Am I the jerk for telling my parents I won't attend?
You're a jerk for...
I mean, yeah, kind of.
You're backing your husband on something that's ridiculous. You're both jerks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like in this one, like, everybody kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because that's an option you can vote on.
That's true. All right, so that was our Christmas scenarios. We hope that the scenarios that we read here are you can't relate to them because you have a great Christmas. But if you do have any scenarios that you want to talk about, Christmas related or not, you can email us at advice@carlaandcesar.com. Carla with the C and then Cesar spelled Cesar.
We'd love to discuss them with you.
Yep. So that's going to be it. Shout out to our audience here, the Funkos. Give yourself a round of applause. There you go.
Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you.
And you can follow me on Instagram at I am Cesar Rod. Where can they follow you?
On Instagram at CarlaLaRod89.
Nice. And then the other channel that I have at The Rodriguez Show on YouTube, youtube.com/The Rodriguez Show. We're at noon on Saturday, the 24th, Christmas Eve. We're going to be doing a special episode that'll be airing, premiering at noon, and you can check that out. And
check it out. It's really good.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's going to be it for this week. Remember to take care of yourself and each other.
Thank you guys for watching.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.